thanks so much for joining me. My name's Amanda. So today I'm here to share this shabby multi-pocket, multi-flip notebook. I can't think of anything more concise to call it. So the idea of this is it will go inside a journal, or it can be a standalone project. You could make one, you could make several, bunch them together, make them in a little box, put them in a little box, etc. So it's got quite a slim profile, although there's an awful lot going on. It's really easy to make. I'm going to quickly show you the project, and then if you'd like to make it yourself, I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make the base. Okay, so it's really lovely. It measures 6 by 4. Okay, so if we undo the ribbon closure here, okay, we have got a flip here. Okay, and this holds little tiny ephemera. It will hold up to 3 by 3, will that? Okay, and then we've got 2 flips here. You can embellish them further, do what you like. I wanted to keep mine plain. So that one flips that way and that one flips that way. Each one is a pocket that holds mini, smaller tags and ephemera. Now, when I do the tutorial, we're going to do the opening. On mine, the opening's here by the spine, and it's not a good idea because it weakens the spine as you're moving things in and out. So I'm going to change the design, and we're going to have the opening here. Okay, on the backs here, I've fussy cut an image and turned it into a tuck with a lovely tag there. Okay, and then behind here is, if I can find it, is a pocket behind that back layer there with a lovely photograph in. Okay, these photos are free over on my Facebook group. Okay, so there's 11 pockets in this little project. Funnily, it's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. So then that closes that way, that closes that way. You've got your little fastening, etc. So then you open the front page here. We've got this lovely image, and behind there is a pocket with another lovely journaling card. Then we've got a small signature sewn in. It's just 4 pages, cut to size and sewn in the middle. Okay, so it's just a lovely little writing spot. And then the back here, we've got another pocket, and in here I have put a little mini envelope, file folder with a lovely photo. Okay, so that goes in there. I'm all fingers and thumbs today, ladies and gents, so please bear with me. I'm having a bit of a fibro day. So then this opens here, and again there's another pocket, so it's a double pocket, this one, with a lovely tag in. Okay, so there's a pocket at the back and a pocket at the front, and then here we've got some lovely mini ephemera in a little tuck spot. And then at this side here again we've got a double pocket, so one behind the image, lovely, and then one behind the layer with another little mini file folder. Okay, so it's just a cute little thing to make. You can make it in, really quick, probably under an hour if you're fast, including the decorating. And then we've just added some lovely laces and a pleats and a little nameplate, and the back side there is a lovely image with this lovely applique. So if you'd like to make this a lovely little project, stay tuned and I'll show you how to make it. Okay, so to construct the little mini notebook envelope flip thingy, if you've got any better names, leave it in the description box below. You're going to need 5 envelopes. Now, these are pre-bought envelopes, but you can make your own. If you know how, or you've got an envelope punch board. I buy just cheap packs of envelopes and cards, and then I'll use the card for journaling cards, and then use the envelopes to make things. Okay, so I would go for the kind of gift greetings card envelopes. They're just slightly thicker than, say, like your DL envelopes, the brown and the white ones. They're quite thin. These are a little bit sturdier. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all you need to do in the first instance is you're gonna stick 2 together, okay, by sliding one inside the other like so. Now when you do this, you don't want to put it right up against, okay, like that. Because what we want to do is we want to create a little bit of a spine to be able to sew your signature. So just move them apart, maybe 1/8 of an inch, okay, before you glue them in. So we're just going to glue this in, okay. I'm going to glue the back of the flap, and then I'm going to slide it in, but not all the way. Okay, so slide it in and then just come out and just make sure it's even, make sure it's fairly straight by just lifting that one over and making sure they line up top and bottom. If they don't, just move it, but leave yourself a small gap so that when it's folded over, you've got a small gap there. Okay, then you need to glue this flap here. And then when you fold that, when you've got that all straight, it doesn't matter if it's not lined up perfect. What you must remember when you're using envelopes is they're not perfect. They're not made perfect. They're not scored perfect, you know, and each one is quite often a slightly different size to the other. So don't worry if it's not perfect. It doesn't matter. So where you've got that, now you've got a bit of a gap, you want to fold along that score crease, okay, to reinforce it on that flap, okay, and use your bone folders. I'm using my brand new bone folders that my lovely friend Rachel Doohan sent me. I'm feeling rather fancy, okay. And then if you go over to this side, you'll see the crease from the first envelope as well, so you want to reinforce that crease. So fold it back, yeah. And you'll have 2 creases already there, so you don't even need a scoreboard. They're already there because it's the crease of the flap. Okay, so I'm just going to... Okay, and then that gives you just a tiny spine to then sew the signature into. Now I'm not going to go through the signature. All I did was got 4 pieces of coffee dyed paper. I cut them in height to 5 3/4, okay, and then in the length they are 7 1/2. Fold them in half and then just very roughly sew them through the spine. Okay, 3-hole pamphlet stitch. If you don't know how to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, I do have tutorials on it, but just if you don't know how to do it, just sew it. Just do a running stitch. Doesn't have to be perfect. Right, so that's that bit. Now what you need to do is you need to cut a sliver off each envelope. So I'm just going to put it in my chopper. You could do this before you start, but so just a sliver, and all that's doing is that's creating an opening. Okay, and the same on this side. Just a sliver. Just make sure it's cut all the way, which it has. Okay, so you'll see that they're open at this end, but what you'll do when you're lining over with your patterned paper, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to glue the patterned paper on 3 sides. Cut it slightly shorter than there and glue it onto there up to the score line. Can you see? So that you're covering it over where that envelope opening is, which then closes it. Okay, but then if you cut this slightly shorter and just glue on 3 sides, that creates a pocket. Okay. Perfect, so that's how you do it. So on this side where you've got an opening, we're going to get another envelope, okay? We're going to slice it open again. So I'm going to actually cut just where we cut a sliver off on the first time, just cut a little bit more of a sliver off on this one. Okay, so that so just layer it behind, because what you want it to do is you want it to fold and you want it to close nicely, leaving a small gap so it's not catching against. If you leave it exactly the same size, it's going to catch. So you want to cut this one just a little bit smaller. And then all you need to do is glue the back of that flap. Okay, these are nothing new, just different people have different ideas of how to put the envelopes together to give you different possibilities. And it's awesome fun to see how different people do it. Okay, so that slides in there, and in this instance you want to go right up to the fold and press. Okay, so you've got a pocket there. Okay, when you layer over with your paper, if you just glue it on 3 sides, you can use the underneath of your paper as a pocket. Same here, same here, same here. Okay, you're just always increasing the possibility, so each one has even more. Okay, so that folds like that. You're going to sew your signatures in there. Okay, so the front part with all of the flips, let me show you that. So just to make our life easier, we're going to just fold it all flat with the front facing up. You've got another 2, you need another 2 envelopes, so it's 5 in total. So the first one, to do the top flap, you want to make sure that the flap is facing the top. Okay, so there's your flap, and it's facing the top as you put it into your cutter. And you want to cut it at roughly 4 inches, but you know, you can change it. It needs to be at least 4, because that's gonna, these are 4x6 cards. If you use different size envelopes, if you use different size envelopes, then you can, you know, just take the principle and do what you like. Now, this needs cutting ever so slightly. It wants to be more or less the same size. So I'm just gonna mark with my pencil, and I'm gonna go back in, and I'm just gonna chop a little bit more off. Okay, there we go. Now when you turn it over, you've got your flap there. You've got an opening there, and you've got an open edge. You want to glue the open edge shut with as small of a bead of glue as you can muster. Okay, remember, only up to the edge of the rest of the envelope. Okay, I don't tend to worry that the different shapes here to here, it doesn't matter for journaling. It's all interest. Okay, and then this back of this flap, glue that. Just bear in mind that if you want to ink things and you want to add thumb notches, if you want to do a thumb notch in here, do it before you glue it. Okay, so you might want to layer your paper, do a thumb notch, then close that edge. If you want to do your inking before you glue everything down. Okay, just think ahead. As I do it always, and then I think, oh, I wanted to put a thumb notch in there, and then I can't get my circle punch in because it's too tight. So that is that flip there. And then for the 2 side flips, you want to just get another envelope and just cut it roughly in half. Okay, roughly, it doesn't really matter. I think I cut mine to about 3. Yeah. Obviously, because these are 4x6 envelopes, I've cut them both to 3. All right, so now what I did on mine was I glued this top edge and I had my inserts there. We're not going to do that because I found that it puts pressure on the spine. So what you want to do with these on each one is just cut a sliver off the end. And whilst you're doing it, just line it up against the first score line, and you can see where it's slightly larger than this envelope. So we're going to put a line there to tell us where to cut. Okay, so one's going to go one way and one's going to go the other way. Okay, so you just want to put a little mark so that you know where to slice it. I'm not big on using rulers. I'd rather put something where I want it and make a pencil mark, because when I measure with a ruler, I'll measure it, and by the time I've put my ruler down, I've totally forgotten what the measurement was. Whereas if I put a pencil mark, I've got a visual guide. Now, if I was clever, I'd measure it, and then I'd measure my piece and put a pencil mark. But, you know, it is what it is. So then you've got 2 pieces that are like that. Okay, now you could actually glue one like that and have it as a flip up. Okay, but I don't want to complicate things. Right, so what we're going to do now, you would, in this instance, I would advise that you do a thumb notch here. Okay, layer that bit with paper and do a thumb notch there, because it's only a little opening, you need help getting in it. Okay, I'm not going to do that. So what you want to do now is you just need to glue on one side. Okay, don't worry about that other loose opening. because when you layer your patterned paper, don't worry about this opening, because when you layer your patterned paper on there, it's going to seal this shut, okay? So that's one. As thin a bead as you can, because the thicker your line of glue, oh, my glue bottle needs cleaning. As you close it, that glue is inevitably going to spread and you're going to make your pocket smaller. So minimal as you can get away with the glue. Okay, and then which way did I do mine? So one going that way and one going that way. Okay, so then you just line them, see where you want them. Your openings are now there instead of by the spine. Okay, so I'm going to have this one going on top of here. You create, you've got a pocket there. Again, here you could glue your paper on 3 sides. I glued all my paper flat, and then I did the fussy cut flowers to make another pocket. So just think how you can expand on your pockets, okay? Just don't fill them with really thick things. So then this one is going to go, and I just left a gap so that you can see what's underneath. You know, if you can see here, I've just left a gap. Can you see? So if you want to measure it, the gap at the top is about 1 inch. Okay, and I've done that first. And then this one here, we're going to glue inside the pocket. Okay, so glue the back of it, the back of the flap. Okay, and then where you've got your envelope opening there, slip that. I've done that wrong. It should have been on the inside. Done that wrong. Glue your envelope on the inside. No, in fact, no, it doesn't matter. Because if you do it on the back there, then it will, when it's closed, it will keep whatever ephemera is in there tight. So it's actually better to, yeah, I've done it right. Ignore me. Okay. So, and I've left a little gap at the bottom so that these are just slightly overlapping. That way they're keeping each other closed. Okay, and then that goes down like so. Push that in a bit further. So to do my closure here, if you follow me, you've seen me do these 1,000,000 times. These are 1 1/4 inch circles, and I literally used some scrap of the envelope, glued 2 of the 1 1/4 inch circles together, inked them, okay, folded them in half and put an eyelet in, and then you glue 1/2 underneath your paper, and that then creates you a closure. And then here I just added the eyelet direct to the bottom there. It takes a small amount of the pocket off, but it's fine, you'll still fit something that's 3 by 3. Okay, so that is how you create that lovely envelope flip. The rest of it is pure decoration. All it is cutting and layering, putting on some patterned papers of your choice. I've used my Lily, which is a paper collection over in my subscription club group, but you can use whatever you like to coordinate with whatever project you're doing. I hope you enjoyed that. So there is your completed base, ready to sew your signature in, add your patterned paper, and put things in all of your lovely pockets and flips. So have fun, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.